Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us for a new edition of School Matters. Today on our program, we're talking about how Cleveland County Schools is helping to prepare students to enter the healthcare field. And our first guest today is Lisa Jackson. And Lisa, you are the health science teacher at Crest High School. Thank you for being here today.
Well, you're welcome.
Before we get started talking about our topic today, if you don't mind, just kick things off by telling us a little bit about yourself, your background, your education, if you will.
Absolutely. So I went to Gardner Webb for nursing school back in 1991, and I worked labor and delivery and well baby nursery for the hospital in Gaffney for 15 years, and then I left there and went to the neonatal intensive care unit at Gaston Hospital, and I was there for a year and a half. So almost 17 years in a hospital setting, and then I took the job at Crest in 2007, so I just finished my 17th year teaching health sciences for Crest High School.
Awesome. And you are a graduate of Crest High School.
No,
you're not.
No,
okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
My husband is.
Okay.
But I actually grew up in Ellenborough, and I went to East Rutherford.
Okay.
So
did you take health science
I did
classes?
not, and I commend
wow.
these kids because there's no way I could have done this.
Wow.
And just a little backstory, I actually taught English for a year. So
Really?
when I went to school, I wanted to be an English teacher, so I have a bachelor's degree and taught English for 1 year. And before I decided that was not for me and wanted to get into nursing. So.
Well, what a variety of experiences to pull from, though.
Exactly. It kind of came full circle.
Yeah,
it really did.
That is neat. That is so neat. Well, tell us what courses you teach at Crest High School.
I have taught them all the health sciences. We offer foundations of health science, which is the basics. Our freshmen generally take that one. It's offered to them. We do have some sophomores that get interested in it and decide to take it as well, but it's just what it says, it's foundations. And then I teach Health Science 1, that's our anatomy and physiology course. It's geared more towards your 10th and 11th graders. And then Health Science 2 and Health Science 2 Honors are geared toward juniors and seniors. And in those classes, the really good thing about that is Health Science 2, they can get their basic life support certification. So they are learn CPR with the healthcare background aspect to it. They get Stop the Bleed certification. That certification was initiated due to the Sandy Hook elementary school. They discovered that there could have been a lot of lives saved had there have been some way that people there knew how to stop the bleed. So we do teach that in the county here, Stop the Bleed, to our students in Health Science 2, and then our Health Science 2 Honors for the county, not just Crest High School, but for the county, we offer the OSHA 10-hour healthcare safety, and so they get that, and which is huge because they can carry that into any job. And then, of course, their senior year is the nursing fundamentals that they can take, and this was my first year teaching that, so.
Yay.
Yeah, I was a little afraid of it all these years, but I absolutely love it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Such wonderful certifications and credentials for students to leave high school with. And they don't have to pay for those.
No, they do not. That is the big benefit, nursing fundamentals, and people may not realize this, but there's a $40 cost associated with the written exam, and there's a $100 cost for the skills portion of their exam that they have to take, and they have to take it at a secure site. So it has nothing to do with the Crest High School, nothing to do with the county, and the county does pay for their first attempt. So that's very nice. That's a $140 saving right there. So
that is incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. So let's talk about that nursing fundamentals course. I assume the foundations is the introductory course.
Yes, ma'am.
And so this one is kind of the capstone or the major course. So tell me a little bit more about that class.
Most students that do take it are wanting to get into the healthcare field, and a lot of them into nursing, but not all of them. For example, I had a student in the fall, which it's not just girls, so let's
Yeah.
put that out there. We do have several guys that's interested in the program, but he wants to do physical therapy, and you've got to do whatever you can to make yourself, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Marketable. You
Yes.
need to have all you can on your resume, and being a CNA might be what puts you above somebody else.
I've heard
so
that.
it doesn't just have to be nursing. But anyway, in the nursing fundamentals, I teach around 66 skills. From those 66 skills, there's also like 200 hours of curriculum that they have to be presented with. The skills and the curriculum ties into about 200, 230 hours. And then once they are taught those, we have to go into a clinical setting, which is 40 hours. And we do that at Cleveland Pines. And we have a great partnership with those ladies and gentlemen there. We've really enjoyed going into the clinical setting there. And once they go there, the students then they do these skills on the residents. So they're presented with a list of skills, and they have to check off at least 15 in that 40-hour period to be able to take that CNA exam, the written and the skills test.
Okay. So the nursing fundamentals course is preparing them
Yes.
to take that
Yes.
nurse aid 1 certification.
Yes, and there's a lot that goes into it. Even after we come back from clinicals, it's a lot like muscle memory. So there's 22 skills that they can be tested on at the skills site. One of those is hand washing. Everybody gets hand washing, and if you fail hand washing, then you failed the whole thing. So you've got to do, everybody does hand washing. And then one of the skills is a measurable skills, like taking a blood pressure, taking a pulse, counting respiration, weight, and I think the other one is urine output. So they'll get one of those.
But they don't know which one.
They don't know which one.
So they have to know them all.
They have to know them all. And then they'll get 3 others out of the 22. So there's 5 that they're tested on, and they're given a 30-minute time slot. It has to all be done and completed in that 30-minute time frame. Some of it's done on a mannequin. Some of it's done on a live person. So you are back there with a partner when you do your skills. But it's just a lot of practice, practice, practice. And I'm so proud. Last semester I had 9, and all 9 are now CNAs. I have had 7 this semester, and 6 of the 7 are CNAs. And my other girl, bless her, she was testing her skills when the tornado came through, and she had to reschedule. And so she will test skills at the end of this month.
And I bet it'll be 100%.
That's what
then
I'm hoping for.
CNA.
So
That is awesome.
it's been a blessing to see what these girls and guys have been able to do. So
Sounds stressful to me for
it
a high
is.
schold student.
It,
I'm
very,
sure it is.
very. I get nervous for them. Like I'm like a little mother hen. Just my stomach is in a knot, just waiting to hear. Did you pass your? We did our online. And as you know, we came to the county office and did ours, and that worked out really good. So, but they're in a secure room. I can't be back there. There's a lot that goes into it. But it is such a joy to be there when they come out and they've passed.
So they know instantly.
They do know
on that.
instantly if it's online, yes.
So that's the written test.
That's the written.
Okay, it takes them how long, how many questions?
Oh gosh, I
Or on
think
that,
there's 70 questions total. 10 of them are like field test questions, so they're only scored on 60.
Okay.
So,
All right, so they take that test and it takes an hour or 2 or something?
no, they know immediately if it's
but
online.
I mean to take the test,
Oh,
I
yes,
guess.
yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, it anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour, I've
Okay.
seen most of them, so.
Okay, and then they know if they got that portion
Yes.
of it, and then, or do they have to do the written before they do the skills?
They do
Does it
not.
matter?
It does
Okay.
not matter.
Okay, and then where do they have to go to do the skills?
Skills, there's just different places. You go online to Credentia and you put in your range of the time frame that you're wanting to try to test on, and then it'll come up the different sites and dates and the time
Okay.
frame. So
Okay, but usually out of town or maybe here at Cleveland?
Cleveland Community College did offer it this time, but
Okay.
there's 4 high schools competing for those slots, and it's a little bit tough to get in there. So one of my students did do her skills here at the
Okay.
college, so, but the rest of them were in Gastonia. So
Okay. Well, you talked about lots of practice. So talk about how you prepare them. I know the course is preparing them too, but just talk about what all goes into preparing them to be ready
We have a lab set up, and that's part of the
in the classroom.
in the classroom, and I've got 2 clinical areas. So I've got 2 beds, literally like labs, 2 of everything, like lab sites, and there's mannequins in there. So they can practice their bed baths. They can practice urinary output, just brushing teeth, range of motion. And some of the things, they'll move the little mannequins out of the bed, and they'll climb in the bed, and they'll practice on each other. Because some of the skills is done on a live person. So what I did, and it seemed to have been successful, once we got back from the clinical setting, and we focused on those skills that they could be tested on, and there were 22 of them, so I did a round robin, and I would have a section doing these 5 or 6 skills, a section doing these 5 or 6, and just rotate until it was time for them to do skills. And that it's working, because so far 100%. So
That's awesome.
and like I said, it's muscle memory.
Yes, yes. Why are you so passionate about this work? Obviously, you worked in healthcare yourself. But
Well, like I said, I did teach high school for 1 year and found out that English was just not for me, and I got into healthcare. But before I went into nursing, back then CNA was not really mandatory for anything. It wasn't something that put you above somebody else to get into a class. But I thought, before I go back to school, I want to get my CNA, see what it's like. So I did, and I worked as a CNA during nursing school, and I just feel like the best healthcare workers have been a CNA. If CNA is not what you want to do and you want to further your education, then the best healthcare worker has been that CNA. But maybe CNA is what you want to do. You're automatically employable as soon as you graduate high school. Well, actually, when you turn 18. So as their seniors, I had 4 students working as CNAs this past school year. Emma Fulbright, Caden Stroop, both worked in a nursing home, and they got on shortly after they got their CNA. Both of them were 18, so they've been working for about 5 months now. Karis Brooks started out in home health, wanted a little more excitement, so she finally got on at the hospital here in Shelby, so she's working for Atrium, loving it. And then I've got Jayla Carrington, who is working one-on-one with a special needs child right now.
wow.
So-
And they were doing all that while they were
While
in high school. What a great part-time
Yes,
job.
absolutely. Making more money than
Yes.
fast
Yes,
food,
yes,
so,
yeah,
yes.
absolutely. What other opportunity, I mean, this is great, but what other opportunities do your students have through taking your courses that they might not otherwise have?
Like I said, just making them, I feel like it makes them more employable. If they decide to go to nursing school, if they decided to go to physical therapy school, whatever, they're going in to having these skills already that somebody else may not have. Or even, what if it's taking care of your mother or your father or a grandparent down the road?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to use one of my former students as an example. Karis, in the fall, she could do some of the skills, and it was because her grandfather was in a nursing home, and she had just watched and got interested in, like, using the gait belt. She knew how to put it on, and just from watching. So, you know, you don't think about that, but as we get older, our parents and grandparents do too, and so you may have the opportunity to care for a loved one down the road that you might not have even thought about.
Yeah, great skills to have, and I can certainly see how having that certified nurse aide, being a certified nurse aide, would make you more attractive to
Yes.
a university healthcare
Yes.
program.
We were also, let me look at the name of these programs again. I had 2 students that were working, that got the, help me out, the Rise to Success
Through Atrium.
through Atrium. So I've had a couple of students do that, and then I had one do the summer intern. And she's working She's a student at Gardner Webb right now, or will be in the fall, and she's doing the summer internship. And then, like I said, this was my first full year teaching this class by myself, but I co-taught it, thank goodness, in the spring with another health science teacher. And one of our students actually did the summer intern, and she actually fell in love with the CRNA, which is your Certified Registered Nurse Anesthetist program. And she ended up getting a part-time job. They created a position, had her apply amongst the other candidates. She got the job, and so she's coming back and forth from ECU and working at the hospital.
Oh,
so
how
her summer
wonderful.
intern turned into a part-time job.
Absolutely,
So,
that is great.
Yeah.
What great opportunity, and those are paid internships
Yes.
through Atrium, and like you said, for her, in her situation, was a foot in the door for her.
Absolutely.
And then Rise to Success, if they're chosen for that in their senior year, pays for their education, right?
Yes, it does.
That's awesome.
It sure does.
Wonderful opportunities.
So I have Brianna Wallace. She's my student that got the Rise to Success. So she's starting the program this summer, and her schooling will be paid for. And I mean, she has plans, like she plans on getting her 4-year degree, but you know, her RN will be paid for, and she'll
That's
be able to
wonderful.
work as she continues her education.
That's wonderful.
So-
And I believe if you shared with me, that's the student that she was accepted to go to school elsewhere.
Yes.
But she chose this
Yes,
program
she
over
did.
more elite
Yes,
college
a very
programs.
elite
Wow.
D1
Wow.
school, and she went and toured and decided that her school getting paid for was the
Much more important.
the smart decision.
And it sounds like it was the smart decision.
Yes.
Very
So-
good. Well, thank you so much
Oh,
for being here
absolutely.
today and talking about your program, and congratulations, 100%
Yeah.
certified students. That's awesome. That will be great.
Thank you.
And thank you. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Between your job, your family, and other demands on your time, life can get pretty hectic. So we want you to take time for yourself. Hi, I'm Jennifer Harrell, and I want you to join me for Your Health. Each month, the Cleveland County Health Department and C19 TV will explore topics that affect you and your family's health. We'll discuss the importance of exercise, a healthy diet, and regular health screenings and checkups. From fitness tips to warning signs to the latest healthcare news, For Your Health will help keep you in shape and up to date in Cleveland County. We want you to be your best, so join us each month for Your Health, right here on Spectrum Cable and online, c19.tv.
Tune in to Senior Moments here on C19 TV. I am Jackie Sibley Newton with Terabella Assisted Living. Whether you are a senior planning for your own future or helping someone make decisions, Senior Moments has got information to share. We talk about the wealth of services, activities, and healthy living options available to you here in our area. That's Senior Moments on C19 and also on c19.tv.
Welcome back to School Matters. Today we are talking about how high schools and Cleveland County schools are preparing students for healthcare careers. And next on our program is Ms. Blair Hoyle Rivera. Thank you for being here today. You are senior, just graduated?
I just graduated, yeah.
From Crest High School.
Yes.
Congratulations on graduation, first of
you.
all. And then for being here after graduation.
Yeah.
We appreciate you joining us. If you don't mind, just start out by telling us a little bit about yourself, your activities, your future plans, if you don't mind.
All right. My name is Blair Hoyle Rivera. I'm currently employed at Chick-fil-A, Shelby, next to Walmart. I've been working there for about 3 or 4 years now. I was also selected to be to get the scholarship called Remarkable Futures through Chick-fil-A also.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Some of my plans after high school is to work as a CNA during the summer, and then continue on after, the summer. some of my favorite activities to do is to write. I like writing a lot. I like reading, and I also like taking walks. I have my mother and father. I have 2 brothers. One of them is at college at Western Carolina, and then I also have 2 sisters as well.
And are they younger or?
I have 2 of them are in high school, and then I have a 9-month-old baby sister.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how many are there total?
There's 5 of us.
5 children, okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Ranging from college to 9 months.
Yeah.
That's great. Special family, I'm sure, wonderful family. So you are, you went through Ms. Jackson's health science classes and nursing fundamentals in particular, and you earned your certified nurse aide 1. So lots of congratulations for you.
Thank you.
Graduation, the scholarship through Chick-fil-A, and a certified nurse aide. You're off to a great start, it sounds like. Talk about that experience of taking the written test and the skills test to become a CNA.
Well, before we started testing, every day we were learning different skills. I think there's a total of 66 we have to learn. Every day it was a different skill, whether Ms. Jackson was just teaching it or just going over it, and then us trying it out on our own. I think the very first day we had restraints, and I mean, we don't do that anymore, but we were still learning it. So we're still learning stuff that we might not do, but it's good to, know
Right,
about.
right.
Then, by the time it was time for testing, it was like a week, maybe 3 weeks back to back. Each one of us would take turns playing the resident or playing as the evaluator, going back and forth. One of us was grading each other. One of us was sitting here saying, "No, you can't do that. The book says you can't do that." But we just kept going back and forth with each other, making sure that we were comfortable and also making sure that we were as accurate as we can be. So, yeah.
So just practicing those 66 skills over and over again. That's the key. Practice makes perfect and gives you the confidence that you need going in. So were you nervous or did you feel confident?
No, I was not as confident as I wanted to be. I think, once I started testing, it snapped into me, like I have to be confident or else, I'm going to stutter or, not get something right. But I was very nervous, especially during skills, because that was the first test I took. Skills, it's very randomized. You don't know what you're going to be into until, you're actually testing. So when I got into the testing site, I had a bunch of random people I didn't even know. I was not even testing with, my own classmates.
Yeah.
I was testing with people from Burns and other people I didn't know. But then by the time when I was actually being tested for my skills, it was 2 girls from Burns, which, we all were looking out for each other, all helped each other, and I think that was a good sign of teamwork.
Yeah,
And, it was something that I didn't think would have happened, considering we didn't know each other, but we're all here for the same thing, and we're all trying to pass. So I think that was very nice of them. And then for written, I was kind of nervous. We were on the, like a little call with people who, were foreign. And I mean, it was hard to understand, but we did it. We went through, I had my phone propped up on one side and then the computer in front of me, and we were going over it. And then they were like, well, at the end of testing, my screen just went blank. But I mean, it told me I passed, so I was glad for that. But he was like, okay, well, bye. I was like, wow, okay. But that was the last test I took, and I passed it, and I was so relieved to know that I passed it.
So you did the skills first, and you did the written test later. Yeah. So with that written test, you not only had the stressors from just taking a test, but you had all the technology issues you had to worry about too, because you had an online proctor who you did not know, but I guess it was all a learning experience, and then made you feel good. What about the skills test? Do you remember which skills you got? I mean, did you get those and you were like, okay, I know how to do those, or you were like, oh no?
So my skills were hand washing, respirations, positioning on the side, pericare, and also I think it was something where I had to just like, I'm not too sure. I'll come
Okay,
back to
that's
that.
okay,
but,
that's okay.
When I got there, I washed my hands and I was just feeling like maybe she's not watching me, and I think that was just me being nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So I was washing my hands, like
So you
she
kept
washed
washing them and kept.
yeah. And then I was like, I hope this is enough for 20 seconds because, you're supposed to wash it for that long. Yeah, I rinsed them off. I grabbed my paper towel, turned off my sink. And then I'm like, what's my next skill? She told me before, but I just was like so nervous I didn't remember. And then she's like, oh, it's respirations. And I was like, where's the clocks in the room? I couldn't find the clocks. So one of the girls from Burns, she gave me her little hand watch, and I used that, and I counted about 13, I think. And, we wrote that down, recorded it, and then positioned it on the side. In the, testing site, it's like this little room, and you're supposed to grab all your stuff. And I wasn't sure if I was supposed to do it like before or after, so I went and grabbed all my stuff, and I'm like, is this everything I need? I was very much second guessing myself and making sure that I was right. But the whole time I was right.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Just the nerves kicking in there, and I'm sure you did great. Obviously, you did great. And how awesome that you had that moral support from other students in your county who were going through the same thing too.
Yeah.
So you could be there for each other.
Yeah.
That's really great. So tell me what you're going to do with it now. What are your plans now going forward? Now that you're a CNA and a high school graduate.
So I plan to give back to the community itself. While I was sitting here, kind of like an internship at Cleveland Pines, I got to interact with the clients and also be around them to where we started bonding, and they started remembering my name and everything. And to me, that meant a lot because these are people who are going to be there, for the rest of their lives. And just me coming in and making an impact on them, it really meant something to me. So I'm coming in and I'm interacting with them, and then I also have to care for them. And I think that's just something so, it's just, I know it means a lot to them, but to me it means a lot as well. And I don't think that people will understand that.
Yeah. Are you going to work as a CNA? Are you going on to school? What's your plan?
I plan to, so I'm taking some CCC classes during the summer, and
Okay,
then
good.
by the fall time, I'm planning to continue to go to CCC. I saw about their sonography program. I'm really
Yes.
interested in that. I think it's really good thing to look into. But also, I'm kind of leaning towards the radiography program.
Yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I thought that
Very
was
good.
really nice.
Well, very good. Well, you're off to a good start. And again, congratulations on everything. Such a wonderful young lady, and I know you're going to do very well and make
Thank
us
you.
proud.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you again. And thank you for joining us for this edition of School Matters.
School Matters is a production of the Communications Department of the Cleveland County School System. For additional information, visit our website at www.clevelandcountyschools.org.